Huh.
I'm just checking to see if I have any loose bridge things going on here. I don't there. It's hard to see because there's like a little pile of dirt right there. So, but I'm just not really getting anything into that. In the way too. So, yeah. So the bridge is tight. The owner and myself both were looking at this bridge wondering if it was original just because of the look of it. I think it is, just because there is no sign whatsoever that there's no kind of finish damage around her. There's not a shadow line where it might have been moved a little bit one way or the other. If it has been replaced, it's been replaced very well by a good repairman. All right, so now I'm going to get a light and I'm going to get in there. I'm going to bang on the thing a bit first of all. I'm going to hold the strings. Like watching grass grow. You can always count on me for a riveting video. Okay, so it doesn't sound like I have anything loose on the top. I will get inside with a mirror and look around. I'm going to turn it over and bang on the back as well. Most of these older Martins, when you run into them, pick guards are loose here and there. The little tip on this one's loose, and it's loose over on this bottom edge. It seems okay up around the top. Usually you see cracks because these pick guards shrink, and the wood cracks usually right around the top edge here or just under. And that crack usually runs up to the edge of the fretboard. So they get some cracking action going there from the shrinking pickguard. Not happening on this guitar, so that's really great. Let's flip it over. Tap the back. Trying to dampen the string noise, but I'm kind of fretting it. Uh-oh. I hear something rattling right there. I'm guessing you can hear that. It sounds like all these braces are loose. Lots of rattling going on there. I don't think that's the sides making noise, because I know I got side cracks. I think that's strictly coming off the back. Alright, well, we're going to get into this thing. I'll bring you back in a minute, and we'll get a light in there and an inspection mirror and look around, see what we can find. Alright, well, before I get inside this thing, I'm going to play it, because I gotta loosen the strings up and all that good stuff to get inside, so. Oops. I keep missing that string. to make excuses. I was just playing the Samick and that was fine. The string spacing is a little different on this. And not to mention it's really high. Okay, so. Thankfully, we're trying to hear what the guitar sounds like and not how well I play or how badly. So there's a fingers, see, with pick. Let's try. Strings are really greasy feeling. So there's a little sound sample of this old Martin 65 Martin. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen the strings and go inside with a light and see what we can figure out. All right, guys. All right. Hey, there's a go the other way. You know, that is so hard to do. There's that E335 back there. Yes, 335. Okay, that's about ready to start sanding out, getting buffed up and put together. So anyway, that's a whole nother story. Sorry for that rabbit trail. Okay, bring you back in here. You can see I've already stick my hand inside and push the pins up. So I've got a neck block over here that I use for a lot of different things, obviously. So bass through treble on the bridge pins, and then 1 through 22, and then 24, 3 and 4 over here for refretting, so I can keep track of things. But so we're just going to pop the pins over in the block in the right order so they go back the same way. These pins are a non-slotted pin, so the string clearance is made in the bridge. In other words, there's a slot for the string to go down into the bridge rather than in the pin. If you haven't run into those yet, that's what that's about, non-slotted pins. And I have a couple capos, one here at the first fret and one at the 12th, just to kind of keep the strings under control. Pop these out of here because strings tend to want to go all over the place and get themselves all wrapped up. And this one is hanging up down there. Ah, that's an interesting string. That string's just got a knot tied in the end of it, best I can tell. Huh. Well, find myself a little wire cutter. So, the reason I was not just taking the strings off and tossing them, even though they're gooey feeling and nasty, was, I'm not guaranteed that I'm doing any of the work on this guitar. I'm just checking it out for the guy right now. So I didn't want to have to replace strings on it if I'm just going to hand it back to him. But yeah, there you go. That string just had a ball tied onto the end of it. Stuck down in there, that's interesting. And how tight is that saddle? Not tight. Saddle just came right out, and guess what? There's shims under that. Oh, I got a razor knife right here. pop those out. Or, well, is that shims or is that a bridge? That's a shim. Okay. I keep saying bridge. I thought maybe it was a pickup because we had that hole in the lower bout, and it could have still had a pickup hanging in it. But no. So another thing, well, it would be getting it anyway because obviously this saddle's been cut down to next to nothing. And apparently it was cut down so far that it was rattling, so they had to bring it up a little bit even though it jacked that action up to 7/64. So now I'm going to get in here. If you recall, that thing was vibrating like crazy. These braces ought to be really loose, or I was hearing something else vibrate. But we're gonna get in there and find out. It's also really dirty in there. So oddly enough, those braces don't look loose. I wonder what I was hearing. Bizarre. I'm going to go ahead and get these strings off of here because I got to tap on this thing and I don't want to hear these strings rattling. And they're crap, so they're going away. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry to say I don't have a good way of getting you in there. I might be able to do my phone or something, but so none of these braces are loose. And what I did discover though is there is actually a pickup in this guitar, and it's basically a little just a little short wooden looking block, so there's got to be a transducer or something in there, but it's just on these first two strings, the E and the B string. Right over here it sits. Gosh, come on, my light is acting up. Pretty much just sits right behind the E and the B string right here. And then just has a little, it's got an 1/8 inch output jack. That's why I didn't notice one in the end there. It just looked like a screw if you just glance at it. But yeah, so none of these braces are loose that I can see. I'm going to get a spatula in there and kind of push it around. I got one that's a couple of them actually that are just 10/1000ths on the end. And you can kind of run them up around braces and see if you got things that are loose. But I've tweaked down these braces. All I can figure is that the wire was rattling before when I was hearing that. You heard it on the video. It was kind of a loud rattle. Now when I bang on the thing, I can hear the tuners rattling because, of course, I don't have any strings holding tension on them. And I thought, I can hear that up there. But you can hear right there, you can hear the tuner rattling. One of those tuners. And I'm isolating them all. So I don't know. Maybe that's what I was hearing before, even with string tension on it. I'm not sure. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to check this thing out and see if I can find any more cracks anywhere. Like I said, I'm going to get under here with the spatula. I got a couple different ones. This is a bridge one. But I've got some, I think, that are even finer on the edge than that one. Bridge and fretboard tongue spatula, and then here's the little guy here. So these make it pretty good to kind of get in and see if you can get under the edge of anything. I think I will get in here and get some pictures, some stills of with my phone camera, and show you that. There's one brace right in the, right under the, here on the back, right under the bridge on the back is it's really fat. So that's curious. Anyway, I got to get both hands in here, and that's not going to happen. I've got to be able to get better access to this. So I'm going to turn you off while I kind of check around on the inside of this thing. I need one of those little oscilloscopes. That might make it more fun. All right, so you can see right there, that's just one spot. That is a back brace, and the feeler gauge, that's a 6/1000 feeler gauge, but I stuck the end of this 10/1000 knife under there, so I thought I'd just poke around with this feeler gauge and see what I could find. So there's number 1. All right, there's number 2, and they're stuck in the middle here, but so I'm going to go from one to the other and see what all's going on there. So I was hearing something. There's number 3 back over there, and number 4 right there. That was just slipped right under there. Lots of room. They are kind of, just seems like they're mostly loose on the ends there, right where they connect to the sides, and then they're tightened up in the middle. And I'm going to check this last one right up here on the top right, and just as I suspected, right there. Now I'm going to check all the ones on top. I didn't hear any rattling on the top, but I'm going to check just in case. I'm going to take a really good look around the binding and all the edges. I haven't seen any, but I'm going to check that too, just to see. We'll check inside, make sure all the kerfing's tight as well. Okay, so what I have found inside on the top, well, you saw the 4 back braces that are loose on the ends. I'll have a top brace that goes right across here. It's right here actually. It's open on this end, right here, and then this X brace that goes through here is open on this end also. Everything else seems to be tight. All the kerfing is tight. I didn't see any, well, I shouldn't even say see. Mainly I just went around everywhere with this feeler gauge inside and just tried sliding it into things, because you can't really see in there. I do need to get in there with a brush and just kind of scrub a lot of this dust out and vacuum that out, and then probably we'll go in again when I put my mirror inside and shine a light on that. And actually I could see light on my mirror through these side cracks here without even shining the light. When I shine the light, I actually got enough light going through to reflect into the mirror and blind me. It was so bright. These 2 little cracks over here, they don't go all the way through. They do not go all the way into the inside of the guitar. So I don't know if they're just finish cracks, or if it just got pushed and it stressed it out, but it didn't crack all the way through. There's I don't know if you can see that in the camera. There's a real good wrinkle in this thing right here. That's just all the way up to this point and all the way back to here. It has like this a little belly that goes in right there. Like, for some reason it's just rolled in on itself right there. It's not cracked, but it's definitely got a little roll in the wood right there, which is interesting. So does definitely need to be cleaned up. There's a whole bunch of braces that are loose and cracks to fix. At least we don't have a loose bridge. That's a good thing. Bridge plate. I was going to be checking that bridge plate. I didn't do that. Well, I'll see if I can look at it first of all, and then we'll go from there. Now I've lost my mirror. There it is. How do you lose your mirror when you didn't even get it? It looks very tight on this front edge that I can see. I'll reach in there with the feeler gauge and check the back edge. And as you can imagine, it's tough for me to get my arms in this thing. So I pretty much just had this thing all over the place while I was checking these braces, just turning it whichever direction. I'm actually getting a little bit of push under that bridge plate with this 6,000 feeler gauge. So I'm going to have to try to get up in there and get some glue to run up in there as well. Okay. All right, so there are a few things that need to be addressed, and I'll get numbers together and talk to my customer and see what he wants to, if he wants to proceed or not. I'll get back to you on where we're going from here.